All right. Over the past few weeks, I asked you a few solid rhetorical questions.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing a blank right now, though. Can't think of like a real solid one. It's like everything is just nothing solid out there to open with.
I mean, there's plenty of things.
All right, go.
This is your thing, though.
See what I'm saying?
No, I mean, okay. You said a rhetorical question. All right, now we got the.
See? It's more difficult than
Well,
what
I
I do
this
is
ain't
more
something-
difficult
this-
than it looks, people.
this ain't
So
what- this ain't
please
something
don't try this at
I
home.
don't just think of that shit. Like, I don't know. It's like that. If you're living on borrowed time, do you have to give it back? I don't know. Fucking high thoughts.
Little, questions I give you are more sports related, but we'll work with that. Welcome back to the Next Man Up
Fuck
Life podcast. Apparently, episode number 13.
13.
Dan Marino.
And it's in October, so it's gonna be a spooky one.
That'll be it's the 31st, not the 13th.
13.
There's not even a Friday the 13th
I'm
this
not
month.
saying. Oh my fucking god! I'm not saying that there's a Friday the 13th, dude. I'm saying the number 13 is supposedly for superstitious people. They don't like the number.
No.
And it's
That's all.
October. You brought up whatever. Fuck off. Let's go.
There
This
we go,
is
people.
starting
That's
off.
how,
This
that's
is
how you
fucking.
start a
This is
show.
starting well. This is going really, really well, guys.
All right, we got a lot on the plate. We're gonna get into some things. Got a lot of news going on. Some stuff in baseball. It was surprisingly good. Not surprisingly good. It was a good Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Surprising ending, but we'll get into that. Something new that we also want to bring to you guys. Fit Friday. Tell you what that is in a second. Actually, going to inverse thing. We'll go shout outs first.
Shout outs.
Shout outs.
Okay, you go first.
All right. Let me go ahead and shout out the Las Vegas Aces.
There we go.
One more game.
There we go.
Put another dub on the board. Tie the series 2-2. Game 5 being tonight at home. Hopefully they can bring it home. Get into the WNBA Finals. Bring that chip to Las Vegas.
That'd be incredible. That'd be absolutely incredible.
It's something great for the city, especially since the Golden Knights can't close it out.
Hey, don't rule them out yet, man.
Man, you've been there twice though.
Yeah, we made some bad choices this offseason, which we'll get into. I'll get into next week, but when we'll probably win mostly just me when I preview the Kraken versus Knights game.
To be fair though, they have to be like the greatest expansion team in the history of sports.
Well, they already are, as a fact.
That's what I'm saying. Like you basically, you're going into the 4th year of existence. You've been to the championship twice. Granted, you haven't won, but
so
man,
we'll talk about them for sure. Again, like next week, like probably previewing the game and seeing all that. But that would probably be my shout out is just ahead of time, and just in case maybe there's like a time overlap or whatever.
Right.
Shout out to the Vegas Golden Knights. As you know, that's my team. When they came to Vegas, I instantly became a hockey fan.
Yeah, same here.
So I love my Golden Knights. Again, I don't like some of the moves we made in the offseason, but I mean it's business, and they know way more about hockey than I do.
There you go.
So
we'll leave it to the pros.
I've only really been following hockey consistently since Vegas got here, so I'm not gonna tell nobody how to do their job when it comes to that.
It's the same. As you know, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. It's the only professional team we didn't have. It's a hockey team. So since moving here to Vegas and the Vegas Knights coming to an inception, I've taken them as my own. The last original team I've added to my repertoire.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one. So shout out to them. Again, they're going up against the other new expansion team, the Seattle Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
It's at home out here in Vegas. We definitely got to see we get some tickets. Check that out live for all y'all in Vegas. Please show up, pack T-Mobile Arena, make it loud. There's a motherfucker in there for that first game. We want. Yeah. They talking about releasing the Kraken. Let's go up in there and shut that bitch up. That's what I'm talking about. So pack them stands, please. That's my shout outs to the Golden Knights, man. Wishing them all the best
for
the upcoming season.
All right, and Fit Friday is something I want to introduce. For those that follow us, thank you for doing so. But a few weeks ago we touched on
few episodes.
Yeah, a few episodes ago. It was Mental Health Month.
Mental health awareness.
Suicide Prevention Month. That's what it was. Thank you.
It's both.
Right.
They kind of go hand in
Yeah.
hand.
And with that, we both touched on a little bit. You a little bit more than me about how things that we need to do as friends, as men, as black men that aren't socially accepted, or it's being man. We got this machismo thing going on where it's not really cool to check on your homie, see how he's really doing. We don't touch sensitive subjects. But I kind of want to break that mold, and in trying to find ways to break that mold, start Fit Friday. Fit Friday, basically just anybody you know, friend, family member, whatever. I am gonna be a little bit sexist. I want to grab a male friend. Don't just call your late night hooker, your booty caller with, man. Hit your homie, check on him, see how he's doing. The reason I call it Fit Friday, or I was gonna go 3 F's. Two of the things that are usually highly associated with stress, the finances and family.
Yeah.
That all equal mental fitness. 3 F's. But Fit Friday had a better ring, so.
Yeah, it works.
So, check in with your homie. Anyone, just go down, you call anybody. Don't hit your same homie. Check on them all. Send a group text if you want, or have a group conference call. But I'm gonna start right here at the desk. My main man.
How you doing?
How you doing, man? 3 F's. How you doing? You spit it out however you want to. Scale of 1 to 10, or whatever verbiage you want to use.
Well, with me is we talked about, on that episode, is on episode number 10. When it comes to my shit, scales are kind of pointless, because my shit can flip fucking minute to minute.
Right.
But as a whole, I do everything I can to, keep everything together. And again, I have good support from people like you and your wife and your family and everything. So it's like, I'm good right now. I'm good. And I don't mean that, placating at all. It's, as you know, it's personal, so I'm not going to get into it. But some very positive things have happened for me kind of in rapid succession over the last couple of days.
Absolutely.
This past week it's been a bit of a fucking whirlwind in a positive way.
Right.
So that's something I'm super excited about.
There you go.
It's helping me with a lot of my stress and a lot of that stuff. So that's huge. That's So I can actually say that I feel good, and shooting it right back to you, man. Like you're way more stoic than I am.
I'm gonna keep this one simple. I'm gonna go scale. Scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna say across the board, family, finances, and mentally. I'm gonna go 8 right now. Everything's about an 8.
Okay.
And
sounds good, but could always get better.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Close to a 9.
Yeah,
it's close to a 9 February, but I'll say 8. But for me, my scale swing, and it's like obviously 0 being the worst, 10 being the absolute best. I'm gonna say 4. If I hit 4, that's like we need to have a conversation.
Well, you need to let me know when you get around 6. And then when it sounds funny, but that's real, people. Like, don't always wait for your friends. As we were talking about, especially as I was talking about on that episode. Don't wait for your friends to always reach out to you.
Right.
Like, don't wait for them to hit the fucking bottom. Hit that 4, that 3, that 2. Because just like how that sounds, that's a time bomb. Once they hit that point, that's when shit's like real bad, and it might not be fixable. Or at least in their head, it might not be fixable or whatever. Like, hit them before that point. Get in contact with them before that point. So, or as we talked about, talk to your friends. Talk to your family members. Absolutely. Communicate. Stop being afraid to fucking talk. Talk to each other.
Yeah.
Let each other know what's going on. Let each other know your boundaries. Let them know when you're not feeling good. Don't answer every fucking time that someone's like, how are you? Good, fine. Yeah, or when you're not.
I'm straight.
Like, when you're not, just be fucking real. Like, people are so afraid of being vulnerable, and it's so stupid because, again, then we sit here and suffer in silence. I'm sorry, it sounds like a rant, but it's like, yo, just Don't wait for people.
Yeah,
like and that's again, like, this man has quite literally saved my life on numerous occasions because he didn't wait for me to hit the bottom, because he felt like something was wrong or my patterns were off or my behavior was off, and he decided to reach out. And that's crucial. That's what we keep telling y'all, is like, do that. So on Fit Friday, hit somebody up, somebody you haven't heard from in a while, somebody that, you know, might be distant or might be quiet or whatever. Don't let them just say that they busy. Just hit them up, see what's going on, try to get in contact with somebody that you haven't heard from for a while. You might need it. Oh, shit. We're calling somebody on it right now.
Yeah. There's no idea this is going on, too, so it's going to be awesome.
Oh, man. He going to be...
Your call has been forwarded.
Oh, damn.
Snow let me down.
That was almost dope. But even at that, it's like, you know, even if that happens, even if you try to call somebody and you can't get through, what he just said, shoot him a text, leave him a voicemail, something. Just let him know. Let him know somebody's out there caring about him, thinking about him. It's huge. It matters. So you had an 8. That's solid. Again, I need you to tell me if you ever drop down to around a 6. That way, again, we can get in front of it. With me, as you know, my shit's way more chaotic, but I always try to communicate with you when I feel like I'm fucking slipping. And I appreciate, again, that you've given me that comfort zone to do that. And how that happened was he cared. He called, he talked, he listened. And that's all we're asking y'all to do for those that you love and care about. It goes far beyond just 1 month. You know, like, people are not just suffering and only in September. It's a year-round shit. So
I'm going to say Snow's mental fitness is... I'm gonna say he's at least a 7.
What's going on with him? What's going on with him? Is he mad about something?
No, he's on the phone call with his lady.
Oh,
so that's always a good place to be.
Oh. Is that the kids are calling it these days? A phone call.
Yeah, on the phone call with my lady.
Yeah, I heard y'all. I heard y'all hit me with some other shit the other night. Like, what was it your wife said when I got? Because I was out hella late. I was like, oh yeah. Hanging. What did she say? It wasn't hanging out.
I can't remember.
Man, it made me so. What was it, man?
I can't remember what she said.
Yeah, I can't remember what she said either. But I'm like, is this what the new kids are calling me? I've been out of the game for so long. I don't even know no more, man.
But
I feel like a dude that's only been like a pond or some shit, and someone just tossed me in the fucking Pacific. And I'm like, oh, so this is what this is now. Right. I don't know the terminology. I don't know what's. Anyway. Snow cone, go ahead, man.
Yeah, do your thing.
Have fun tonight. I'm gonna leave it at that. And then let's go to some news, man.
Some news, a lot going on.
Again, just reach out to your people, man. Fit Friday. If for nothing else, use it as an excuse. Let us say that we reminded you. Use it as an excuse. Let's make it just something that we do. Into some news.
Yep.
We have more criminals coming out of athletic sports. I'm not understanding this shit. You know, we had, again, on just the last episode, we were talking about the fucking DEA raiding the Washington football team's head trainer. And then now, you know, as of yesterday, Thursday, we got 18 former NBA players that have all been indicted on criminal fraud charges. Like, to the tune of like $4 million or something.
And it's
what the fuck?
This is what irritates me. There's a huge saying. It's like one bad apple spoils a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And for everything that goes on, whenever something happens, there's this label that people who are sports fans and definitely who aren't sports fans, spoiled athletes. Anytime something goes on, they're spoiled athletes.
Mm-hmm. They're
spoiled. They're privileged. They're this. They're that. Things like this prove those people right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I was reading a line on there. It was like these 18 guys collectively, just on their contracts, not including any money, not a dime that they couldn't, that's outside of just what they could verify with their contracts. So, 18 guys, they made over $343 million. And some of these dudes that are indicted on criminal charges. Right. It was because you accepted a payment on this fraud scheme of it was like $6,000 or $7,000. What the fuck happened to your money?
But even that's not the thing that pisses me off.
The thing that pisses me off.
The thing that pisses me off is Okay, when you look at who the people are, like you come up with this scheme to make some dough. Big Baby Davis. Yeah, I'm saying the names because fuck them.
Yeah.
Big Baby Davis. You were on a team with Paul Pierce. You were on a team with Cameron Garnett. You were on a team with Ray Allen. These dudes are doing good in life. Hit them up. Sebastian Telfair. You know LeBron James since high school.
Yep.
Hit him up. Bro, how are you doing this? What do I need to invest in? Yada, yada, yada. Tony Allen, you played with every dude in the NBA.
Yeah.
You know somebody who's paid outside of the game. Like, hit them up. Like, you have connections that people, like, I can't even say what I would do to get in the room to pitch an idea to a Kevin Durant.
Right.
To a Kyrie Irving, to a Steph Curry. Like, you have access to so many plugs. Let's go outside the athlete realm. You know team owners who make real money.
Yeah.
You tell me you couldn't hit up Jeannie Buss, get some financial advice, bro?
Right.
You can't hit up Mark Cuban? He does a TV show. Looking for stuff to invest in. You can't come up with something to pitch Mark Cuban, bro?
Right.
Like, it's so many other avenues you could travel, and you got to go this one. And again, one bad apple spoils a bunch. So now everybody's going to shit on every athlete who's been paid, who did it the right way. So you not only ruin your name, you stain their names, you stain the league, and you ain't even in it no more.
So stupid. I'm still just baffled by the story. I was reading it. I had to have read it maybe 2-3 times a day because it didn't make no fucking sense to me.
Exactly.
I'm just like, and especially because and no crime is. I'm not even gonna fucking sit here and lie. I'm not gonna sit up here and try to act like some no crime is good. Fuck off. Like it's a goddamn lie. Anyway, if you go and commit a crime, bro, the payout better be more than $7,000. I'm sorry. Like, maybe if you a crackhead, like that's a huge fucking score.
Right.
I mean, that'll get you what? I don't know, 2-3 weeks worth of meth.
Or in the words of Tyrone Biggums, it'll get us half a hours.
So I'm like, unless you're a crackhead doing that, you can't have made millions of dollars in your life and you're getting caught up on federal criminal charges,
Right.
for $7 fucking grand.
And again,
Like,
federal. So
they've
been looking at you for a
looking
while.
at 20 years. These dudes are looking at 20 years.
You're looking at they've been
I think
looking at you for a while.
The highest payout to any of them, I think, was to was either Telfair or the main dude, and even at that, it was only like
Terrence Williams. He made the most,
like,
but he also got another $200,000 from everybody for putting them on.
Idiots, man. Like, go away. I'm like, I don't even feel bad for y'all. Let's talk to people that haven't ruined their fucking lives yet, that have a shit ton of money. Because I'm mad. I feel like it's gonna be an angry episode for me. I already feel like I'm upset. It's just like it's like nothing positive. Like I got the Thursday night football call wrong. I'm seeing idiots in the media that like and you know these we just talking about these basketball players. It's
I
just
can't
so
remember
much.
who I picked.
We both picked Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah, we both thought that it would be close and that Seattle would win.
Yeah.
And then, the Rams apparently woke back up. So we'll get into that when we get to the recap in a little bit. But right before we get to that, we still got to cover
some news stories.
The shit that's pissing. Oh, the news, yeah. Because we got the take it away.
The National Women's Soccer League, and I saved it. I was gonna say it's in the shout outs, but I saved it because I think it's much more than shout outs. Once I sat and pondered on it. There's a word.
Pondered.
Yeah. The National Women's Soccer League, a bunch of players, and this is where they actually took it a step further than the NBA. It wasn't a pregame, it wasn't a postgame. They actually stopped gameplay 5 minutes in, and the players went to midfield and locked arms in a show of unity and support for the victims of verbal and sexual abuse in their league by coaches.
Yeah.
Which is, and the reason why I'm going to go deeper is I'm in a stage in my life where I'm a little bit more mature, think about things differently. But with that, I also have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, one day she'll be into athletics, or she'll be into something where I then have to trust another adult to look after her well-being. That I can't in my mind go to a place I would go to if I heard something like this were to happen to my daughter.
I can tell you right now where you go.
Like,
I know where you go.
So
it was you go to the place that my I wish I remember the dude's name. He was a hero to me. He was a dad of during the Larry Nassar case. You know, the gymnast dude that molested all those girls.
Michigan State.
And yeah, the U.S. Olympic team and all of that shit. Fucking that worthless piece of shit. But I remember one of the dads stood up. Big dude. Big dad. He was 6'4", 260. White dude. Huge. But he had me on the verge of tears, dead ass, because he was like, yo, he was like pleading with the judge.
Right.
Pleading with him. He was like, yo, just give me 1 minute in the room with him. So that's all I need. Yeah. He's like, Your Honor, all I need is 60 seconds. Just give me 60 seconds in the room with him. And then when the judge said, you obviously is saying no and shit, dude, he was like, fuck it, I'm going to take it myself. And like went to rush the stand. And it was like you could see everybody in the courtroom, including the judge, including the bailiffs and the guards. Like, they didn't want to arrest this dude because, fuck, we understand. Yeah. Like, you looking at these cops, I guarantee you, they probably looking at this motherfucker like, bro, you don't get it. I'd bash his head in with this baton if I could myself. Right. But we got to let this worthless, degenerate piece of shit rot in hell. Like, So, I know where you'd go. I know where you go. And I know where I'd go. Because you would get restrained by your wife. I'm just the fucking uncle that's gonna come out of nowhere. Fucking like Johnny Drama, just like, you got a problem? I do. Bang! Like, yeah, I got a fucking problem.
Nah, shit. I think on that occasion,
I can
she
fuck
probably
you
let
up
me
all
go.
day, and they ain't gonna take away, your kid for CPS. They might do that with you. You get into a fight, you and your wife get taken off. Shit, that's just me, baby. I'll fly off the handle too. So, and then it was terrible, not to make light of a fucking dark situation. Right. For those that haven't been following this horrible story, it's like there's just been one thing after another kind of being unveiled that's been going on in the women's soccer league, and it's so bad and so deep and so like deeply intertwined in everything that Lisa Baird had to retire from both. Like she not retired, correction, resigned. She resigned her position on the NWSL, and then she resigned her position for the U.S. women's team. Right. Like, it got that bad, and she was like the head, like the president. She was everything. Mm-hmm. And it's just horrible. Like, and it was shocking to me. And this is going to sound, and forgive me, everybody, if this rubs you the wrong way in some fucking how. It honestly was, like, more shocking to me how many, like, female coaches and trainers and, directors and executives were involved in this shit. How many of them were implicated. Right. And it's, like, it's fucked where I was getting at. It's, like, you almost expect it to be men. When you read these charges, when you read these headlines, you click into it expecting it to be just men. Right. And to see that it was so many women coaches that were doing this shit or just flat out I'm like, that shit hurt my heart. Yeah. Because I'm like, if there was one thing I thought that women definitely had on that was fucking unity. On us, like on men, was unity. And it was like, yo, we ain't gonna do this shit to each other. Right. And the fact that was being done, like, that made it so much worse to me. Yeah. And the thing that gets me is not that it would have been better in any way, but it's like, it kind of would have been if it was men, because it's like, we fucking suck. Like, our fucking tab is long. Just keep piling on. We know we done fucked off, for centuries. Yeah. But it just trips me out. People act like they don't know what to do. Like, when they find something out. Like, and just to use an example I'm sure everybody's familiar with, the Jerry Sandusky thing. Yeah. Like, Joe Paterno. But he was told, and in his next steps, he informed the people above him. He didn't inform the authorities, though. And this is why people was mad at Joe Pye. It's like, he did the right thing, but he didn't do the right thing. So it brings that question, like, what is your responsibility? Your responsibility is do whatever you think is necessary to end the situation. If that's going to your bosses and your boss is legit and is going to handle it, do that.
If it's going to the authorities because you don't really think the people above you will handle that, do that. Like, do whatever you think is necessary for the situation to end.
And it's fucking simple.
And follow up on it.
Yeah. Because it's simple. It's like, okay, cool. You might not know where corruption lies. You know, obviously, the hardest person to see that could be betraying you is the one right in front of your face.
Facts.
You know, so it's like if you go and take this information up to the higher ups, as you're saying, just watch what they do. Yeah. If they don't do anything with it, if you don't see any change or anything, right, then clearly they're part of the fucking problem too.
Yeah, and you need to take additional steps.
And it's like, I get it. People are afraid of being whistleblowers or whatever, but I also get that it goes deeper. People are afraid of like losing their jobs and shit. But it's like, yo, these are people's lives, man. Yeah. Like, fuck your job. Fuck your job when it comes to somebody else being harmed.
Yeah, and again, like I say, years ago, I could verifiably say I had an absolute different opinion on certain subjects pertaining to this matter, different questions. But again, I have a daughter now. I've evolved over the years. I have a different mindset now, so now I see things differently, and it's like, do whatever you have to do to cease the situation. Mm-hmm. So it's 2021, folks. Like, we're in a different place, different time. Certain things that were okay aren't okay anymore. Yeah. You see something, say something.
Exactly.
Is that what they say?
Yeah. It's sad, man. Regardless of whether, you know, and again, for people listening, I'm not. If you take it that way, then I just have to question a whole other bunch of stuff about you. But it's like, I'm not saying that any kind of assault or abuse is better if it's, you know, men doing it. I think it's all horrible. I'm just saying it's why. Like, why are we doing this shit? Right. Like, and I feel like that's something I've never really understood. And you know, me and you have talked about this. I'm like, I don't understand why there's so much just fucking hatred towards one another, and always has been. Like, it's just, it never makes sense to me, or why people just intentionally try to hurt other people. Like, I don't get what the fuck you get out of that. Yeah. But moving on, because this is getting into a bit.
Just one last thing. The coach, Paul Riley, who is the accused, his wife left him. So good for her.
No, fuck her.
Nah, maybe she didn't know. She didn't know.
Maybe.
Found out.
You know what? You know what? Facts.
I'm gone.
I'll take that back. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt that she didn't know. Right. I don't believe it. Yeah. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Now known with the screw, she There's no evidence yet that you knew what he was doing, and now you're just trying to distance yourself from it before you get dragged under with him. But that's a lot of assumptions and judgments and prejudice. So I'm gonna just say I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. There you go. And moving on to another topic that's probably gonna keep me in this shitty mood. Fucking Yankees losing to the goddamn Red Sox, man.
Here we go. Yankees.
I sat here and asked for the Yankees to not lose to Boston, and the only player that showed up was Giancarlo Stanton, and it was like nobody else. And not even Garrett Cole decided that he wanted to shit the bed, and it was just like in the whole bullpen, like it just top to bottom. It was a bad game. Lost 6-2 to Boston, and last. I mean, I'm so mad about it.
Can you really feel bad for the Yankees? I mean, they've won every World Series except for 3.
I don't give a shit. And would you stop? Would you ever be like, oh, I have enough? Fuck no. You think Jeff Bezos got to a point?
We really feel bad for him.
When Jeff Bezos was worth like $140 billion, do you think that he was just like, I'll stop now? No,
yeah, but I don't think anybody
he didn't fucking stop. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to fucking space.
Don't feel bad for the Yankees losing.
Come on, that's my team. I'm always gonna feel bad. I don't care how many times we win.
If 3 times more World Series than the next closest team.
Don't care.
Who also lost?
You know what
St. Louis Cardinals.
You know who also lost? You know what else pissed me off? Is that the Red Sox beat my Yankees and then got their ass beat last night. Got beat 5-0 to the Rays. Now, granted, the Tampa Bay Rays are one of the best teams in baseball. I understand that. But still, I wanted my Yankees there.
So they could get beat 10-0.
Fuck it, I don't care. At least we in the playoffs. At least we in the playoffs, baby.
Technically, they were in the playoffs.
They're in the play-in game.
Theirs was earned, so I'm not gonna shit on that. Theirs was earned. That was a legit tie.
So to the one that was unearned, but thankfully came out the other side in a favorable way for you.
Yeah.
Your Dodgers and Cardinals game, man.
Yeah, they tried to lose.
They tried to lose. They really fucking did.
They tried to lose.
They really fucking did.
A bigger statement would have been made had they lost.
You think so?
Yeah. But they got the walk off. They got the walk off dinger.
Yeah.
And
Those are always my favorites. I fucking love walk offs. I think that's like one of my favorite parts of baseball because it's just like such a fuck you. Like everything about it, like no other sport has that ridiculous of a celebration. Like you get, penaltied out the building in the NFL. You get immediately ejected in the NBA for pulling some shit like that. Like when they hit that walk off and dude knows, especially when it's a walk off homer.
Yeah,
those are the fucking best. It's the best shit in sports in my opinion. Is a walk off home run. Dude just fucking smacks it. Ball's going. Everybody knows he's doing a little trot, and then like everybody from the dugout. So you got like 30 motherfuckers just on home plate, like looking at everybody else. The other team is still on the field.
Yeah.
But the other team, all 30 of them are just around, just hopping, bouncing. They got the fucking buckets of water and shit, going crazy, celebrating on your home plate, and you just got to stand there and take it. If you're the other team, you just got to stand there, mad than a motherfucker, looking at them like, really? It's my favorite shit. That no. That's my 1A. My one My 1 favorite fucking celebrate is the bat flips. Woo! I love me a good bat flip. I can sit and watch YouTube videos of solid, great bat flips all day. It's my favorite shit in baseball. And it's what I would do every time if I'd ever played baseball. I'm talking every fucking time. I hit a home run, I'm doing a bat flip. Fight me. I'm sorry.
All right. See, that's their coming, man. Karma's coming back to get you. No bat flipping.
Nah, that's the fucking weed, man. That's the weed catching.
What up next?
Oh, that's it. That's all you wanted to say about the Dodgers and Giants game? You want to say nothing else?
Yeah, I mean, the one other thing is the next series is the actual World Series. Dodgers, Giants.
Yeah.
Since they're the two best teams in baseball that happen to be playing in the first round.
We get to see this shit. It's going to be a hell of a good matchup, man.
Yeah, it ain't even close. They're the only two teams that won over 100 games, aren't they?
No, I think the Rays did too. I think that's it. I think it's them in the Rays. I think. I might be wrong. I doubt it.
The Rays won 100.
Oh, boom, bitches. It wasn't over 100. It was 100, but I'm right. There was one more. That's why I was saying I know the Red Sox got smacked by the Rays, but they were like the third best team in baseball. So
should baseball move from? I know at one time they actually had a rule that two teams from the same division couldn't play in the divisional round of the playoffs, which was basically the Red Sox Yankees rule. Instead of having them play in the first round, they wanted them to meet for their championship. That went out the window because either the Red Sox or the Yankees would like never have, like, the records would line up. So it then ended up being the number 1 seed would actually play like the number 2 seed in the playoffs or something. Like, it worked out weird, so they changed it to where it lines up fair wild card. But now you have a situation where the wild card team is actually second best team in baseball. And now,
and they had to play a game to be in the playoffs.
Right, they had to play a game
what
to
kind
be
of
in the
bullshit
playoffs.
is that? I have the second best record in baseball,
Right,
and I'm not good enough to be in the fucking playoffs. So, I have to play some dumpster fire team that literally, if they hadn't won like 17 in a row, wouldn't even be in the conversation.
And so now you get the World Series in the first round of the playoffs. This should be the only series that counts.
It probably is.
Everything else should be consolation.
Whoever comes out of this is going to win it all.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have to play anymore.
Yeah, whoever comes, you just want to just
just let it be over.
Like, everybody knows it's going to be one of these two teams. Let's just see it now.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to another probably throwaway. This is when you asked me about this when it got brought up, I think we were in agreement then. Maybe your mood has changed because I was looking at there's an ass whooping coming. There's an ass whooping coming, people. I'm a fight fan. I'm not a fan of this fight because I feel like it's going to be a massacre. Wilder Fury 3. For those that didn't watch Wilder Fury 2, if you did, you'd understand why we're not really excited about Wilder Fury 3. It was like brutal.
Yeah,
the second fight. Tyson Fury beat the dog shit out of Deontay Wilder.
And for
it was stopped in the 8th round, TKO, because even the ref, the fans, it felt like if there was one more swing allowed, God would have finally returned to the planet with Jesus and been like, please stop. Stop it, Gypsy King.
Yeah.
He's done. He doesn't know it yet, but he's been knocked out for 5 minutes.
There were so many theories came out of this fight. There was the thing about the attire that Deontay Wilder chose to wear to the ring.
The Black Panther shit that
weighed 40 pounds.
And that
Yeah, and he had like a 15-minute ring walk, so carrying that weight around and getting into the ring. But then you got the lights around the eyes. Like, there's that theory. The one theory I actually like, which actually there's a little bit of credence to if you pay attention to certain stuff, was Tyson Fury's gloves. They were like really crimpy around the knuckles. You know, boxing gloves, especially. Most fighters use brand new gloves for the particular fight they're in. His glove, like you could actually open a palm with his glove. If you look at pictures of it, like you can see the clear indentation around the knuckles, where if you wanted to, you could slide down and have a closed fist in the padding of your glove. So it could be something to it, could be nothing.
No. I'm rejecting everything you just said, and that's out of love because I know that's not your theory. I know that's not your conspiracy. I know that's not you. I'm gonna say a strong no, an absolute no. Those are people grasping at straws to try to find a reason as to why Tyson Fury beat the shit out of him.
I mean,
again, if you watch the first fight,
again, you said, have you ever seen a boxing glove bend like that? In fight,
even in the first fight, yeah, I have. I've seen what you could call like floppy gloves before. I have. But even in the first fight, Fury arguably won the fight. He should have won the fight.
He
dominated Wilder, but they called it a draw. Then in the second fight, just to prove a point, because again, he should have won the first fight.
I don't think he should have won.
I do. He should have won the first fight because he outpointed him. But they called it a draw. Then in the second fight, he dominated him from start to finish.
He did.
And, in the finish being an 8th round knockout, or TKO, after he'd already put his ass on the ground twice, the first time he'd ever been put on the ground.
Right.
This fight, I'm like, it's just going to be more of the same. Tyson Fury has too solid of a chin.
Unless.
He's a bare-knuckle gypsy boxing king, so it's what's the fight that Jason Statham said in Snatch? He just orders a coffin nails. I mean, to me, these boys ain't that hurt each other.
To me, there's only one way Deontay Wilder can win this fight. He has to knock him out in the first 2 rounds. Initially, I said 3, but now it's got to be the first 2 rounds. If you don't knock him out in 6 minutes, you lose. Yeah. Even if you go on to win the fight. Even if you go on to win the fight by knockout. If it doesn't happen in the first 6 minutes of the fight,
you don't just dominate
you lose.
Him. Because, Wilder's whole thing was that he was just destroying people in the first few rounds.
Right.
And then this guy's taking you to decision and then knocked you out. And now you want a 3rd shot at him. All right. I don't think that. I think it. I don't know. I think it goes.
Hooray
6.
for contracts. Actually,
no. I'm gonna say this fight goes. I think it finishes the same as the last. It's gonna be an 8th or 9th round.
8th round knockout. Stoppage.
Yeah, and again, I think Fury wins. I think again it goes Fury's way with the TKO. And
he's 20 pounds heavier too.
For me, honestly, dude, it's that fucking chin.
He's coming in 300, almost 300 pounds.
Like, he absorbs hits like I've not seen from a heavyweight in a long time. And I'm talking like headshots.
Right.
He just literally fucking eats them and just keeps coming. And so I'm like, yeah, to your point, if you gonna hit him a bunch of times in the head, and it's gonna start building that adrenaline up. If you don't knock him out, good night.
Do you don't think the 20 extra pounds matters?
No, he's always looked fat. You couldn't tell me. You could not show me 2 pictures of Tyson fucking Fury and tell me which one he weighed 20 pounds less in, because they'd look the same. Like, no, that's nothing to do with it.
But
I don't think he'll have.
All has quick hands for a big man.
All to do is make it worse.
6'9", 300 pounds.
All to do is make it worse because now he's even heavier.
It's gonna slow him down a little bit.
Yo, if Deontay Wilder's looking for a way to slow down Tyson Fury, ask him to wear that stupid costume throughout the fight. And so maybe you'll have a chance. Maybe we can see then if there's actually an effect. But Tyson Fury probably fight the whole fight with it. Like, fuck you. Take the helmet off, obviously. You just wear the heavy shit on his shoulders. Like, yo, I won't even block my stomach. You just have headshots. Go ahead. I'm still fucking you up.
Next,
we got to go into the NFL. We got to do a quick recap of Thursday Night Football. Obviously, we had the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks.
We did.
Unfortunately, we both had that pick wrong. I say unfortunately for me, and I'm not going to speak for you, but for me with an asterisk because I did have the Rams as like my team to beat in that NFC, so this kind of keeps them on track for that.
Yeah, it's definitely more important to the Rams than Seattle to me.
Yeah, it was to me too.
Yeah, with Seattle winning last week against San Francisco. They avoid that because what we talked about. If they would have lost last week and then you come out and lose this game, your
season's over. You're at 1-4.
Yeah,
you're at 1-4 chasing. Yeah, you're chasing a 4-0 team and a 4-1 team.
Right. The Rams getting blasted by Arizona definitely needed this win. So kudos to the Rams. They played a hell of a game. It was an ugly game for the first 2.5 quarters, whatever you want to call it. Robert Woods, though.
12 catches, like 150-something yards.
Yeah. Him and Cooper, I think they combined for 19 catches, 250. Like, they both put work in.
I got to holler about the rookie, or not the rookie, the running back.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a running back. I've never heard of him before.
Daryl Henderson.
Daryl Henderson. He
was getting tough yards.
I hadn't heard of him before. I hadn't seen him before. Because again, maybe I missed that. I might have missed him somehow, but man, I didn't miss him tonight. That boy was hitting them holes, and he looked good. I was like, who is this kid? So that was very impressive.
80 yards on the ground.
And I liked, as you said, after the second half, I liked the game plan from Sean McVay. I liked how they switched up their play calling from, even the runs that they were using, which again was allowing Henderson to go, nuts.
Right.
And then allowing Stafford to have, that clean pocket to try to get some of those throws off. I liked how the Rams looked. Their offense looked great. Stafford put up, for the third time in 5 games, 300-plus yards passing. Yeah. By comparison, people, if that doesn't sound impressive to you, and it's going to be a negative to my Broncos, Lamar Jackson on Sunday against the Denver Broncos had 300 yards passing for only the second time in his entire career, and he's been an MVP. Matthew Stafford has thrown 3 300-yard games in the first 5.
I think the biggest story, though, coming out of the game is Russell Wilson.
It's gotta be. I think
their finger's broken.
It's definitely broken.
Because even looking at showing certain shots in the game, it was just a little bit too much purple.
Yeah. So, and if he's out with a broken finger and that's on his throwing hand, even if he was only out for a couple of weeks, let's say it was dislocated, like Matthew Stafford's got dislocated in the same game tonight. Something about them hands today.
Quarterbacking is dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous business.
So, with Russell Wilson going down, I feel like even if he was going down for only a couple of weeks, Seattle season's over. Because again, what are we talking about just now? Now they're 2-3 with 2 division losses. You don't have, credit to Geno Smith. Like, he held his own. That last interception was not his fault.
Yeah. Was it interference?
No, dude just fell. I don't think that he got tripped up. I think he tripped himself.
You don't think he got raked across because I couldn't tell who it was. It wasn't Jalen, but he's going behind the DB. The DB turns around. Looked like he kind of could have got his jersey a little bit.
I didn't see enough. Yeah, I didn't see enough.
Either way, the pick, it definitely wasn't Geno's fault.
You're not trying to go with Geno Smith, as your starting QB moving forward. And that's looking like what's going to happen. Because, again, imagine even if they just drop their next 2 games to Geno Smith, not shitting on him before he can get his solid, shot at it, his fair shot at it. But historically, dude, you suck. So let's just assume that you lose these 2 games. That now moves Seattle to 2-5.
Geno Smith is my second favorite NFL player.
That moves you to why?
Because this is a dude. He came in with the issues. He was supposed to be a first round pick. Ended up going in the second round.
Yeah.
Didn't pan out, but immediately, not over a while. Didn't take few fit. Immediately found his niche. You know what? This dude don't miss football games. I'm gonna go be his backup, and has been getting checks for the last 8 years because of it.
Yeah.
All I gotta do is make the team, bro. He's been QB2 for
I'm
8 years.
Always the second best quarterback on the roster.
Exactly.
I don't ever need to be the best. I just need to be the second best quarterback on the roster.
On this team.
Yeah.
Like, respect to Geno Smith, man.
But, again, you don't want the Seahawks running with him as they start QB. So, likely they probably dropped to 2-5. And 2-5 in that division right now, you're out of the race. They might fuck around and be out of the race now with those 2 division losses and 3 already. Because their schedule is not going to get easier without Russell Wilson. And again, the Rams in your building looked like the threat, especially in that second half. They look like the threat that everybody's worried about. That shutdown defense that's destroying your quarterbacks, completely obliterating your run game, getting interceptions, completely screwing up your coverage reads. Like that defense, that scary defense.
I mean, the good thing, Seattle, they can quickly get back in it, though. Their next 3, you got the Steelers in Pittsburgh, the Saints, Jaguars. So they can rebound quick.
You can't, yeah, but then that's, again, you can't dismiss, even if they pick up those wins, say the next 3, that puts them at 5-3. Problem, right. Cardinals, most likely going to win this weekend. They're 5-0. If you look at the Rams, you just lost they're 4-1. So it's like, even if you pick those up, you're still behind all those losses.
Yeah, but as long as you can keep San Francisco.
I don't think they got it this year.
As long as you keep San Francisco, because look who you're going against.
They don't got it this year, man.
Forget the division. You're going against now the Vikings.
They don't got it this year, man.
Who are 1-3. You're going against. There is going to be no second place team in the NFC East. So you really only got the Panthers. Obviously, whoever doesn't win the division between the Rams and Cardinals, they are still very live for that 7 seed. Very much live.
I know you want to believe in them. It's not going to happen.
Who's catching them? The Bears?
It's not going to happen. It's not a matter of who's catching them. They're not.
Yeah, it is.
Being third in the NFC West will not get them into the playoffs.
Yes, it will. You got the 7th team now. If it was still 6, absolutely.
I don't even think, because they're not going to be third with like a 10+ win record. They're not going to get there, especially if Russell Wilson, which is all likelihood, is going to miss extended time. Their season's over.
He'll be playing next week.
Yeah, maybe
he's going to splint that finger right next to the index finger.
He's
playing.
We'll see, but I don't see it happening. So I think that the Seattle Seahawks season, for as far as like playing for a postseason's over. Yeah, they fell too far behind tonight. Not just with the second back-to-back divisional loss, not just with the third loss in a division that the top 2 teams through 10 games only have 1 combined, but you also lost Russell Wilson, and you were already having problems this year, even with him healthy, especially with protecting him. You were already having problems. He was already getting, rushed out of the pocket. I think other than Kyler Murray, no one's thrown more passes from outside of the pocket this year than Russell Wilson. That's not good. That's not a good thing, people. Like, unless they're designed like play-action bootlegs, which they're not. It's just him not having space.
Yeah. No, I still think they're again. I'm discounting the Bears completely.
You're also the same guy that thinks. I mean, because you're right on one pick so far that the Panthers look good. So you're just riding that train when it comes to the Patriots and the Seahawks, and just denying facts and like denying what you're like.
Again,
it's like, dude, the Patriots are not going to make the playoffs, and neither are the fucking Seahawks.
The fact is, the Washington football team's 2-2. Like the Bears are 2-2, the Vikings are 1-3. You've beaten the 49ers. Like you're not looking at the teams they're competing with. That's what you're looking at the top. You're not looking at the bottom.
I also know that they also still have the Packers coming in. I also know that they still have to play the Niners twice. I also know that they still have to play the Rams again in LA, and they have to play Arizona again. So I'm looking at that as, 5 losses?
Yeah, the Rams who have proven that they're very beatable at home.
That's 5 losses if I split games with them with the Niners. If I'm like, I'll give you one to the Niners, that's still 5 losses. And those 5 losses account to a team that has now 8 losses on the season, which means the best that they can finish is 9-8. They're not making the fucking playoffs. There's not going to be a team in the NFC that makes the playoffs outside the NFC East that wins less than 10 games. And the Seahawks at this point cannot get to 10 games. The Seahawks cannot get to 10 games, especially without Russell Wilson.
They can get to 10 games.
Not without Russell Wilson. There's no fucking way.
He's not going to miss time.
Because they're going to lose to the Packers. They will lose to the Rams again because it's going to be the Rams later in the season. And they're already starting to show that they're picking shit up. And their defense is starting to look like the defense everybody's afraid of. So they're going to get them again later in the season. They're going to get the Cardinals again later in the season. Twice, actually. Yeah, because
the Rams defense is looking like the defense everybody's afraid of?
Tonight? In that second half?
They did not.
To me, they did. To me, I was watching them blitz through that line. To me, I was watching them get 2 interceptions in the second half. To me, I was watching them completely disrupt everything that was going on both sides of the ball and then take out Russell Wilson, even if it's a fluke or not. It's because they were getting that level of pressure on. So I'm saying Aaron Donald. I'm seeing Aaron Donald
got hit, not hurt.
I'm seeing Aaron Darnold get 2 sacks tonight, and I also saw one of their DBs get a 12 or 15 yard sack on Russell Wilson.
I also saw Geno Smith come in the game and march team 80 yards for a touchdown. So I don't think people are afraid of that defense.
When you say stuff like that, it's like you're intentionally ignoring it. It's like every defense in the history of life gets scored on. Just because they get scored on or a team puts together one good drive doesn't mean all of a sudden this defense sucks.
No, it's not that. It's the way. Again, I'll go to the Houston Texans. Houston Texans were killing us with Tyrod Taylor in the game. You went to your backup quarterback, we shut that shit down. Again, Russell Wilson goes out. The backup quarterback comes in and leads the team 80. It's not ignoring. I'm looking at the situation as it is. The backup quarterback should not immediately take the team 80 yards.
That's simple. That's so simple because, it doesn't happen all the time. There's a reason that's a backup, but it also makes perfect sense. You didn't game plan for him. Again, Russell Wilson.
It doesn't matter. He shouldn't immediately.
Russell Wilson, as you just pointed out, has never missed a game. He hasn't missed a start in his entire career. Yeah. So you're not game planning at all for the way that Geno Smith can operate on offense.
And Geno Smith also didn't take a single rep.
He took all the reps running their playbook. So it's like he knows. Anyway, let's move the fuck on because we've already spent too much time on this. And we got it. Come on, we got to get into. We have all the rest of the Week 5 predictions, man. We've spent so much time on this.
Wow. So
we got to move on. We got so many.
Of the Rams defense.
We have so many other games we got to get to.
Yeah. Didn't they give up 40 last week?
Oh, my God, and you're just going to keep going. Okay, so we're going into the New York Jets versus Atlanta.
37, my bad.
Okay. New York Jets versus Atlanta.
You have a better claim saying people are afraid of the Broncos defense.
New York Jets versus Atlanta in London.
Another team you said people should be afraid of.
Dude, come on.
I'm talking about what you're talking about.
Come on.
Jets, Jets.
I've already walked away from that train.
Go.
This is a game for people that don't know. If you want to watch it, you got to wake up super early. It's going to be in London. It's part of the global initiative to try to bring football around the world. For those that are new to the NFL.
Why are they still doing it? Number one, there's never going to be a team in England.
There's actually been some data that's come out that's shown that it's successful, that it actually is generating more interest in football abroad.
There's never going to be an NFL team in England. Never. And aren't we still in a...
if there is one, they have to be called the Redcoats, and they have to play the Patriots once a year. And they have to lose.
Are we still in a COVID state of mind? Why are we?
Well, that's actually.
Sending players to England.
Since we got so wrapped up talking about the Seahawks, we completely skipped the sit 'em and start 'em. So because we've been going all over the place on this episode.
We can do it. We're close with that.
Well, because one of mine is actually on here, and it's sit Calvin Ridley if you guys have him. Right. He's my fourth because we go 3-3. He's like a 3 asterisk. Sit Calvin Ridley of the Falcons. I know that he's a big points guy in fantasy this year, but he's not traveling to London. So they will be without Calvin Ridley this weekend. So obviously, if you have him on your team and you're unaware of that, I don't know how they'll put that on his status, if they'll just put it as out. But if you don't see it, he's not playing. He's not injured. He's just not traveling to London.
Right.
But everybody else is. The Jets are, and I don't know why. If you're trying, and this has been my only issue with the games in London or the games in Mexico, is like and it's probably because you have to, but you keep sending shitty teams. It's like shitty games, like that nobody wants to watch. Nobody wants to watch. Even stateside, people don't want to watch the Jets and Falcons play. The Falcons Stadium would be half empty.
It's a rotation. Actually, we missed our rotation. Our rotation was last season.
You know who's never gone over there since they've been doing this? Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, like Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger. None of them. Russell Wilson. None of them guys have ever gone overseas. So like I think it's a rotation thing, but it's a rotation that's always coincidentally with teams that are not doing well. It's never like the New England Patriots with Brady are gonna go over there, or Drew Brees years ago with the Saints is gonna go over there. Or Aaron Rodgers in his prime. Like it's never, not even in his prime, but it's even a few years ago. It's like none of those guys. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. It's not the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Packers. It's none of the teams that are always good. It's always the teams at the bottom of the league.
I mean, what the heck is this game called? NFL game.
It's like the London games or some shit. Yeah, NFL games.
I want to see the results.
So for this game,
I can't say who. NFL International Series.
Well, I'll go ahead. I think that Atlanta. I wanted to have Atlanta taking this game.
Breeze went,
and I'm still gonna.
Brady went.
When?
2008, New Orleans went. 2009, the Patriots went. Big Ben went. So yes, it's rotation. Russ.
When?
Russ. What year is that? 18 years ago.
Are you sure? Because Seattle didn't go over there.
Yeah. Wembley Stadium, bro. Seattle Seahawks, October 14th. Tennessee Titans, Chargers, Eagles.
All right, I stand corrected. Either way,
I know we were supposed to go last year.
I said I stand corrected.
Either
way, I'm saying that it's like it is generating.
So we got to wait another 10 years.
It is generating interest. Maybe I just always pay attention to the shitty games. I can swear to God I've never heard of any of those games happening. I've never seen any of those games or any highlights, and it's the shit that I follow. I would not believe it. I mean, I'm seeing it on your screen, so it's hard to refute. But it's like I've never once seen it. So
because it's on at like 4 in the morning.
I don't know if even
we'd be at the club.
I don't know if in them times if the Patriots went and Tom Brady didn't play or whatever. I'll look into that and have an update over the weekend. Because I still don't believe it. I saw that, but I'm only seeing it at a glance. I'll look into it and see because I don't believe it. I got Atlanta winning 27-24 over the Jets. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a toss-up. One of the rookies that they have, they're going to be, if you have Kyle Pitts, start the shit out of him because they're going to be throwing, Matt Ryan's going to be throwing his way a lot. But again, I think it's going to be, I'm kind of glad that the game's going to be 6 o'clock in the morning and nobody's going to see it. So I don't think it's going to be a good game. And what's your take? How do you think the game's going to run out?
I'm also happy because it just means I get to wake up and talk shit right away. Mm-hmm. I got the Jets. I'm taking your Jets.
Okay, cool.
To beat the Falcons in London.
Well, that's an inverse because I definitely would have assumed that you were going to take your Falcons because you picked them a couple of times already.
I did. Now I think the travel hurts Atlanta more than the Jets.
Okay.
That's just a theory.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
All right, so then we have another game. This is a game I think will be exciting.
Who that?
Green Bay versus Cincinnati in Cincinnati. I only say it's going to be exciting because, you have to. Cincinnati's 3-1. You have to take them seriously regardless of anything else, and this is going to be their best test. They're actually having to play the first of the major teams. Obviously they're going to have to go through you guys and go through the Ravens and the Steelers, but having to host the Packers and Aaron Rodgers playing like he's playing.
Yeah, definitely a measuring stick game for the Bengals.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Who you got?
I got Green Bay, though. The Bengals just aren't ready. This is something I don't think it'll be a bad game. I don't think they're gonna ran out of the building. I just they just aren't ready for this particular level of competition.
Yeah, I got it as a one-score game. I think like 35-31, something like that. I think it'll come down to, again, like Aaron Rodgers winning the game at the end or holding a lead at the end.
I can see that. I see Devontae Adams having a huge game.
Yeah.
But that's not uncommon.
Right. And then we got moving on to the first, I guess on Sunday, because we had a divisional game today. We got another divisional matchup. The Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. I'm picking
the bye week.
I'm picking Minnesota, obviously. I got a 24-13. I'm assuming what you say in the bye week, you're going the same way.
I'm going Vikings. If they're, it's extremely difficult to pick the Lions.
Yeah, it is. You know what I mean, even though they've been playing good, and again they played the Ravens tough. Exactly. It's just it's
just difficult to have the words "I'm picking the Lions" come out of your mouth.
Yeah, especially this season. So I mean, again, I'm picking Minnesota. It's no disrespect to the Lions. It's just
They're just a better football team.
Yeah, and again, I think that they're trending the right way, especially with Heineke, and I feel like them getting
Washington football team?
Yeah.
No.
Taylor Heineke. Yeah, he's a beast.
Some of the Lions. I thought you were still talking about the
Lions.
Oh,
my God. I got all the way mixed up. My bad. I don't know why I was thinking about Washington football team. I have no idea. Well,
that's why it's so difficult to pick the Lions.
Yeah, I got all the way thrown off. How the fuck did I get onto that? That was super weird. I got super sidetracked. I must have looked at the wrong part of my shit. All right, moving on to the game of the week. Nah, I'm just playing. It's not. It's not at all. It's not at all.
I was excited.
It's going to be the Denver Broncos going into Pittsburgh.
Oh.
We still don't know. He's a game time decision if Teddy Bridge will be starting or if it'll be Drew Lock. We do know is that the Steelers suck, and what we do know is that the Broncos are missing a lot of key guys, man. We've been gotten fucked up by the injury bug this year. I mean, we lost obviously Bradley Chubb. We've lost 3 of our starting offensive linemen. We lost KJ Hamler, one of our star wide receivers. Jerry Judy's still out with a high ankle sprain. Glasgow goes down. Fucking now. Deontay Sanders goes down with Deontay Sanders, a wide receiver who replaced KJ Hamler. And he gets fucking speared.
It's my time to shine.
Wrong. So he's fucking out. We don't know what's going on with Teddy Bridge. It's like, man, even when we have shit going right for us, like on paper, and we're like everything looks good, then it's like out of fucking nowhere. Oh, injury. But even with that, I still think y'all got enough to take the Steelers. Oh, so are you picking the Broncos this week?
I am picking the Broncos.
Oh, for the first time on the Next Man Up Sports podcast, Bobby has picked the Broncos for something positive.
Actually, it's not.
Mark it down.
I picked y'all to win.
Episode 13. Bobby picked the Broncos to beat the Steelers.
I picked y'all to win. I picked y'all to win week 2 and 3.
Anyway. No, because those are like throwaway games, as you were saying. Like, it's like no, because you were like everybody else not giving those games respect. So don't try to act now like, I called it. You were like, the teams you're playing are garbage. It's like, if I'm gonna pick, am I gonna pick a team that's clearly gonna lose or a team that's like better than them? Like, that's not the pick. When I'm talking like actual being, like, anyway, moving on. Before we get into that again, because I think I've obviously picked Denver, but I think it's a toss up. It's 24-21 on my book. I think it's a toss-up, and that's because I can't call it without knowing if it's going to be Teddy Bridge or Drew Lock. If it's Drew Lock, I'm like 95% sure we lose the game. But I'll probably bump that.
Hatred for Drew, man?
Because I watched this fucking asshole last year who I was so hype about because of the bullshit, like, magic trick he pulled off in the first 5 games of his career. And I was like, oh, this kid's dope. And then last year, it's like, oh, he's fucking blind.
Could it be coaching?
Because he threw more interceptions than touchdowns and had a completion percentage that was in like the fucking 50s. And a quarterback rating that was like barely in the 30s, which is a bit. I don't want to see this game again. I don't want to see this movie play out with us having a top 5 defense and then it's headed by some dumb fuck kid who just is too busy dancing than actually learning where the fucking throw the ball. Anyway, it's gonna get me pissed. I think that Denver
could it be coaching.
I think I can go on a rant
Legit
about
question.
Vic Fangio. No, I'm saying I can
He's
go
a
on a
defensive
rant
mind.
about Vic Fangio too. I don't think that he managed Drew Lock well, which is again why I was so big on wanting Teddy Bridgewater there. Why I wanted him to be the starter is that he can be the offensive voice that Vic Fangio's not. Drew Lock is not that guy. He doesn't make smart decisions with the ball. He just does not play good quarterback. He just makes horrible decisions. So I don't know if it's Teddy Bridge recovering from the concussion in a week and he starts. I think we win the game. If it's Drew Lock, I think we lose. So for me, that's why it's a toss up. We got the Miami Dolphins going into Tampa Bay playing Tom Terrific. Obviously the Bucs are coming off that, especially Tom Brady, that emotional win over the Patriots on the road, thanks to unforeseen circumstances.
Thanks
like
to the leg of
So, who you got in this game, man? I mean, Tua is still out.
Tampa. Tua being out is the best thing to happen to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
It takes Brian Flores so much off the hook.
Yeah.
Because he can say, I didn't have my quarterback, but your quarterback stinks, and it's going to allow him to actually look forward to a quarterback next offseason.
I mean, you remember me saying that I didn't think anybody should have drafted Tua in the first place.
I would not have.
But now they're seeing it.
I mean, not only from a talent standpoint, but I'm, as you know, in all sports, super partial to injured guys.
Yeah.
Even though Joel Embiid is a great player now, same thing with him. When we had the number one pick, don't give me Joel Embiid. I need somebody who can play right now.
Yep.
But they don't listen.
Mm-hmm. So after that, we got New Orleans versus the Washington football team. Now it's appropriate for me to talk about them instead of being sidetracked. I got it 27-24 Washington. I'm only giving that much respect to the Saints because, I mean, they've earned it. They've won more games than I thought they'd win all season probably. So I think it'll be a close game, but given that it's at home, given I feel like Washington's riding a wave of momentum and like an emotional high from their win last week, I think that I just have to tilt the cap a little bit in their direction. I have a lot of close games this week, and this is another one that I think will be a close game. I think that Washington barely squeaks it out only because they're at home.
I'm going with the Saints.
Okay.
I think earlier I had some thoughts on this game just going back and forth in my head, but now I'm talked myself into. I think it's gonna be a big day for Alvin Kamara.
Okay.
So I see him pulling double duty and having one of those C-Mac type games. Hate to use him as a reference because Kamara's a great back in his own right. But he's going to do that double duty thing. He'll get 80 yards rushing, 80 yards receiving more than likely. Couple of tubs. Jameis has been doing a good job playing turnover-free football and just kind of letting the playmakers around him make plays. I think they continue that. I think the Saints defense holds Heineke down, and they'll win a close one, like 2017, 23-20, something like that.
Yeah. After that, moving on to your playoff. Panthers hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Who you got, man?
I'm going with the Panthers, man, in this one. CMC game time decision. I know there were some thoughts that he's going to play, but he could possibly play. Even if he doesn't, though, I think the Panthers are a little bit more talented. Of course, you do have the addition of Stephon Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely short with them losing J.C. Horn. That definitely bolsters that secondary again. So you got some championship experience coming in there. I think they're just slightly more
right away though.
They're just
he's not going to be off the PUP list till after week 6.
Yeah, but he can help prep. He can be there, coach guys up, talk, see some different things, show them a different way to play the game.
Yeah,
it's all about sometimes presence is more than you actually performance.
Well, I'm thinking about the actual performance and the guys that are actually going to be able to play. So
the Panthers are just a little bit more talented than the Eagles are. Sam Darnold is slightly better than Jalen Hurts right now.
Mm-hmm.
Their receiving core, they're slightly more advanced. It's everything about the Panthers is they're just one step ahead.
Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna pick the Eagles.
There you go.
Again, I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a 1-score game. as I was saying when I was watching the Eagles play the Chiefs, I was watching a team, especially in Jalen Hurts, that has the heart to win some big games because there was nothing about that team that had any quit in them. It's just you.
Oh yeah,
it's just you ran into the Chiefs on a bad day, or on a good day for them.
It's the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill was out there running nuts, almost 200 yards. I think he did hit 200 yards receiving, but even at that, it was 42-30. I liked what I saw from Jalen Hurts. He looked calm and poised for a young guy against a team like that. I was impressed. I think that the Eagles, they surprised the Panthers, and the Panthers their second loss, and the Eagles, man, they climb back into that NFC East chase. I think that they pull it out on a team that I thought that this would be a go away guarantee, but seeing as how these assholes lost last week to the number 2 overall pick. Who you got when it comes to Tennessee facing the number 1 overall pick and Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, since they tricked it off against New York against Zach Wilson. Now they got Trevor Lawrence down there in Jacksonville. Who you got? Tennessee Titans Tennessee Titans versus the Jags.
Upset alert.
You're going Jags.
I'm going Jags.
Okay, there we go. Now we getting somewhere, people. We getting these differences on the list. That's what we need. Y'all can't. For y'all listening in on the podcast, you can't see. Obviously, we have this going on YouTube as well. For those that didn't know, if you want to see our beautiful mugs, if you want to see the hostile facial expressions that we occasionally shoot towards each other, which is definitely a lot from me. You guys want to see all the funny shit that's going on in the background instead of just hearing my sultry, sexy voice. You guys can check us out on YouTube. Sultry. But what you see is, like, as we're talking, he's writing down my picks, I'm writing down his, because we don't know each other's list. And we like to do this to keep it real and keep it fresh, and then that way we can, surprise each other and see who's more writer. And currently, quick update, meant to tell y'all this, we both tied last week, went 10-6, which means I'm still ahead by 3 games overall in the season. And now we got some good differences already this time around, so watch those numbers fluctuate because we don't have so many in line this week. So those numbers are going to fluctuate. We're going to see who's more writer. I am going with Tennessee, but I'm curious to know why you're going with Jacksonville.
Tennessee's just not played good football all season.
At all. At all.
Like, even their win against Seattle just kind of tricked off that game. It was more bad Seahawks than good Titans. In this game, I think it's the controversy. Sometimes it divides people. Sometimes it brings people together. And in this week, I think it's going to bring the guys in that locker room together. And in spite of Urban Meyer's misdoings and misbehavings, I think the Jaguars are going to just go out and just play with a loose mind. Like, the pressure's not on them. The pressure is on the guy on the sideline. And the pressure's on the team on the other sideline because they're playing so bad. So it's like, if we win this game...
I don't think the Jaguars even understand the concept of pressure because these motherfuckers haven't won a game in like 2 years. There's no pressure for them. Nobody's expecting shit from them. So to your point, there's no pressure.
But there is a pressure that comes when you have the number 1 overall pick on your team.
I'm looking the other way for pressure. I'm looking at it like,
remember, we got the number 1 overall pick, and we got 3 Monday night games that next season. Yeah. Like, there's pressure that comes with just having that guy.
The Titans need this game way more than any other team.
They do.
I'd agree with that. To me is the most important game of the season for the Tennessee Titans. If you lose this fucking game, just give up. If you can't, in back-to-back weeks, if you lose to the New York Jets and a rookie quarterback, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars and a rookie quarterback, you'd also be giving both of them their first win. Yeah. Teams that are notoriously bad. If you lose to them in back-to-back weeks, if you can't handle the Jets and the Jags, you have no chance in the AFC. And that signing of Julio Jones would be a fucking waste. Yeah. So the Titans have to win this game, and I know that they have to win this game. The positive for them is I believe this is their 4th game out of 5 that's on the road to start the season. So they're going to get a home stretch. They need this win, especially it's a divisional it's a divisional opponent. You can't lose that game. So I think that the Titans will pull it out. I got it 28-17. because they have to. They can't. They literally know that they cannot afford to lose this fucking game. They lose this game, and it's all bad for the rest of their season. And then we got your New England Patriots. I'm going to keep calling out your teams. The New England Patriots going into Houston Texans after that again. The flip side to the coin, as is all things in life.
The New England Patriots against the Houston Patriots.
No, I said the New England Patriots against the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I said the New England Patriots against the Houston Patriots.
Oh, I thought that was like a verbal typo.
No.
What?
Houston Patriots, because everything about them is New England. Half of their staff has come from the Patriots.
Yeah.
So their colors are even the Patriots colors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with the original Patriots.
You going with the Patriots?
Yeah, they're just they'll get slightly better quarterback play. They're just slightly better than Houston's been playing everybody tough, but they just can't. Just can't, like Luther Vandross' curl.
Mm-hmm.
Just and I don't think they get it this week either.
All right. Well, I'm also going with the Patriots because I was impressed with what I saw from Mac Jones against Tom Brady. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Come on, man. Give it the spirit. It's October.
What the fuck does that have to do with it? I'm gonna go with the Patriots. Close game, 24-21. Edging out the Texans again. Yeah, the Texans have been playing well. Their defense is looking good. Defense has looked ferocious at times. But again, I just think that seeing what Mac Jones did against Tom Brady in that environment with all the emotion in that game and how seasoned he looked for a rookie quarterback was very impressive. I still don't think that the Patriots win, more than 5 or 6 games. I still don't think that they may win the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. Definitely not that. I don't think that they make the playoffs. What I meant to say. I don't think that they'll even make the playoffs. Like I know that you do. This is one of their 5 or 6 wins. I think that they get this season. I think they pick this up on the road. A team that will not win on the road is the Chicago Bears coming into Vegas, playing the Raiders, Allegiant Stadium. It's not gonna happen. I've seen a lot of Bears fans out on the strip today. Saw y'all walking around. I hope that y'all are like fans that live here and like bought them shirts. I hope you didn't fly here from Chicago to watch your team get smacked, because that's what I think it's gonna be. I think that the Raiders are gonna beat the shit out of the Bears. We got announced my call as the 31-17 Vegas Raiders.
I think they win a close one.
You think the Raiders win a close one?
Yeah. And honestly, if Montgomery was playing, I think they'd lose.
I don't. Again, I'm watching how Derek Carr is playing. He's at an MVP level, and it's consistent. He hasn't dropped off. He looks completely in control of that offense.
To the LA Chargers.
I mean, again, everybody has a bad game. That's what I was saying on the last one.
Yeah.
Like, to the Raiders fans, I'm like, relax. He had a bad game, because you could say, to him, have him say that shit to the Ravens, or to the Steelers, or, whatever. Like, I think that the Raiders are going to hold. They're going to hold down home field out in Vegas. Again, it's like I'm seeing all these Bears fans out here. So if the Bears team is out here when they get out here this weekend, I'm sure they're going to party a bit. Welcome to Vegas.
Yeah.
And, they're going – this ain't Chicago, man. They're going to take the L. I got it 31-17 for the Bears. And you said you're picking –
Yeah, I'm picking the Raiders.
I'm
picking the Raiders, but it's. I think it's gonna be close, and I think it's gonna be like a 3-point game. It honestly would not surprise me to be wrong about this game.
Okay.
Because Khalil Mack is coming.
Yeah.
If your line couldn't stop Joey Bosa,
as you always like guys that have grudges too, and obviously the Raiders traded Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
And then the next, I'll never forget that shit. And then it was like the next day after trading Khalil Mack, John Gruden's first season there, he complained about not having a pass rusher. Motherfucker, you just traded at the time, it was like the second best pass rusher in the league. And it was like, not even second, it was like 1A. I'm not use that too much, but it was like 1A. Because it was Von Miller coming off of a Super Bowl MVP, and Khalil Mack.
Mack was like the first person to be named All-Pro twice
in
the same season.
Yeah, literally. And it was after that season that you traded him, and then the next day complained you didn't have a pass rusher.
Can't generate a rush.
Shut the fuck up. What are you? Who does that?
John Gruden.
Who does that? Like,
He's so
you
terrible.
gonna throw something great away and then complain that you don't have it.
He's so terrible.
It's like me throwing this mic away and then complaining like, they can't hear me. Yeah, dick.
He's the same guy that said Johnny Manziel was going to be an all-pro QB.
Well, so far, whatever he's doing this season in Vegas has been working. Obviously, they're out to an impressive 3-1 start. I think, and all this shit pains me to say, but I'm just trying to be professional. But I think that they moved to a 4-1 start at home.
Okay.
Knock off the Bears, going to another AFC West team that's got a tough challenge. The Chargers are hosting your Browns.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
I feel like I already know where your call is going on this one.
I've been going back and forth all week about this game. You've watched me go back and forth about this game. But one thing gave me supreme confidence in watching the Chargers-Raiders game Monday night. There were some things that the Chargers couldn't stop that the Raiders were doing that we just absolutely magnified. They had issues with the run game. Nick Chubb is coming. Kareem Hunt is coming.
Yeah.
Baker did not play his best game last week. I don't think he'll have to this week, but he definitely won't look like he did last week.
Yeah.
I think a combination of things played into him looking like that. He's got the shoulder going on, which isn't his throwing shoulder, but again, Minnesota's defense knows our playbook inside and out because it basically comes from them. So I've been going back and forth with Browns fans online like all week. I'm like, relax. Like, listen and learn for a second. Like, they intricately know our playbook. Anytime, he's going to, like, they can literally call the plays. That's why he looks so terrible. This week, he'll bounce back. He'll throw for about 250 and complete like 65%. The running game will get going. Myles Garrett continues his Defensive Player of the Year push. I think we beat the Chargers.
Okay.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Well, I'm picking Cleveland as well. A close game, 20-17. And again, I think it'll be another game that comes down to the wire. I don't think that it'll be a blowout and a catch-up kind of situation. I think that it'll go back and forth. But it's going to be a defensive struggle. Both defenses are solid. Again, as you said, you got Joey Bosa on one side. You got Myles Garrett on the other. So I think that it's a hell of a good matchup. But I will give the edge to the Browns in this particular game. Another game I feel like we're going to be on the same page as fucking waste of time. The New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas.
How about them Cowboys?
For another fucking week, we're going to have to hear that shit. God, fucking, I'm so tired of Cowboys fans already. I think I was just like born tired of them. I feel like they've been just like that, it's just exhausting.
But can you blame? I mean, Mike McCarthy, who's a fan of the show. Hey, Mike, listen to us after week one when we said, dude, you didn't run the ball in week one. Just run the ball.
It's our fucking fault.
Yeah, and he started running the ball and they've been winning, so you can't really be mad at that.
Yeah, and this is Dallas's bye week. I have no confidence in the Giants, so I have this as a fucking runaway win for the Cowboys. I think Zeke has a fantastic day. I think Tony Pollard has a career day. And they win 31-7 or 31-10, and I think that Tony Pollard goes the fuck off. It's like 120 yards and like 3 touchdowns.
I think that I'll say the Cowboys running game in general, they'll run for about 180 yards combined.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal.
Yes, it'll be interesting to watch. I think it'll be fun to watch. There'll be a lot of highlights in this game.
Yeah, and rounding out the afternoon activities on the football field, we got San Francisco going up into Glendale, Arizona to face the Arizona Cardinals, the 4-0 division leading Arizona Cardinals, who just put a whooping on the LA Rams in LA. Put a whooping. Now they're back at home going against the Niners. What you got?
They're going to win. The Cardinals are going to win.
They're gonna win. By how much?
Like a lot.
All right, we're on the same page, and I got a 38-14 Cardinals.
And it's not even that.
It's no disrespect. It's just
the Cardinals are right now just better than the 49ers.
Yeah, I said that they're legit. They're legit. moving into the game of the week.
Can't even get it because Jimmy G is talking about he wants to try to practice tomorrow so he can play, but it doesn't. Jimmy G gives him a better chance. If Trey Lance starts that game, it's gonna be ugly.
I think they already said he would start. I mean, like they announced it today that they're going with Trey Lance. Like it's like official that he'll make his first start this week.
This game's gonna be ugly.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking too. I'm like Arizona's gonna blow them out. They're playing too well.
Chandler Jones is coming.
Yeah, they're Arizona's on another level right now that the Niners are not ready to be at. Not in a transitional quarterback phase.
Right.
So moving into the Sunday night football game, which to me is going to be the game of the week, the actual real game of the week, not me fucking around. The actual game of the week, I think, is the best matchup. I think it'll be the best entertainment, the best TV, and I think it's a playoff preview. It's definitely a playoff preview. The Sunday night football game between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. I think it's going to be a hell of a fucking game with how Buffalo's played over the last 3. I think they've given up a grand total of like 6 points in 3 games. Like, not even bullshitting. They've had like back-to-back shutouts. Like, so you got the Buffalo Bills playing out, like they're angry. No one's talking about them. I'm serious. They're playing like they're mad that everybody's still talking about the Chiefs and the Bucks and not giving them any respect.
Yeah.
So this is going to be their chance. This is going to be the opportunity for the Buffalo Bills to wash the taste of that Week 1 loss out of everybody's mouth. Punch the Chiefs, and I was about to say something so much worse. I had to mentally censor myself through an entire sentence because otherwise we probably would have got fucking canceled like tomorrow. YouTube would have shut us down. We'd have got a cease and desist if I'd finished that thought. So I think that the Buffalo Bills are they have something to prove against the Chiefs, and I think that it's gonna be a hell of a game. Yeah, I'm excited to see, especially early in the season, what Patrick Mahomes can do against that Buffalo Bills defense. And I'm curious to see on the flip side what Josh Allen can do, on the road in a hostile environment that is Arrowhead Stadium and against a very good defense and a very good team. But I am picking Buffalo.
I got KC.
Yeah, I got Buffalo.
Only because it's in Kansas. If it was in Buffalo, I'd probably go with Buffalo. It's it's not Arrowhead. What is it? Meta, whatever the name. It's Arrowhead
I'm always
Stadium.
going to call it Arrowhead.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to correct me, you can fuck yourself. I'm always going to call it Arrowhead because I'm an old school cat. Just no matter what, I know it's Empower at Mile High. If you're a Broncos fan, that bitch is always and forever just mile fucking high. I don't care whether it's in Vesco or I don't care who wants to put the name on it. At least that's a new stadium. It's Mile High.
At least that was torn down and rebuilt. This is the same legit.
Yeah, it's
Arrowhead.
Yeah, it's Arrowhead. Fuck off.
It's like calling Lambeau Field something different.
Yeah.
It's Lambeau.
Yeah, because Staples comes in. It's a Staples Field. Fuck you. No, it's not.
Yeah, but I got to go with the Chiefs at home. They're tough to beat in that building. Prime time. Mahomes shows out on prime time. I think they squeak it out. I think this game will be very reminiscent of the Chiefs-Rams Monday Nighter from a few years ago. So,
if it does, that'll be a hell of a good game to watch. But no, I think that the Buffalo Bills, I think they put a stranglehold on the AFC. I think they put their foot down and let everybody know that they're the team to beat. It's no longer the Chiefs. I think it's going to be a changing of the guard.
I agree with you, but I think the wrong guard is going to step forward. I think the Chiefs give us control of the AFC.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Fingers crossed.
And then we got
make them
rounding it out.
3-2 and the Chiefs 3-2. We can climb out of there 4-1. That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah. And rounding it out, as seems to be the theme this NFL season, let's have another not exciting Monday Night Football game to talk about. And not all the Monday night game, but you know what I'm talking about. Some of the Sunday nights, Monday night, some of the primetime games this year.
The Sunday night games have been
the Sunday night
quality.
games have been good. It's just the Thursday night and Monday nights have been just so bad. But this one's another one that's, when the schedule came out, I'm sure there was a lot of intrigue. You had, Carson Wentz, and you had the storyline of him going up against Lamar Jackson. Obviously, I'm talking about the Colts and the Ravens, but now with the Ravens figuring out their whole offense, but looking dominant as they're doing it as well, and the Colts just sliding. They're already,
and they're starting to get healthy. They're getting some guys back.
Yeah, they lost obviously their guard for the season, Quentin Nelson. They lost him for the season. I believe it's for the season.
I don't know if it's for the season.
Anyway, he's out.
Let's check on that.
He's out, and again, they're going up against the Ravens, so that's going to be a rough.
Yeah, you don't want to be down lineman against Baltimore.
So I'm going Baltimore 27-13. I'm going to be surprised if the margin of victory is bigger than that. I just think that the Ravens are playing at a whole different level right now. I think that scare or that win. I told you I was mad that they won against the Chiefs because I think they woke up, and then they have Justin Tucker kick that. So you have like two back-to-back like momentous wins that keep them from being 1-3 or 0-4, and they're rolling now. They rolled the fuck through us, and I think they're gonna do the same to Indianapolis. I don't think that I won't move them any higher on my list. I still think that they're probably the third or fourth best team in the AFC.
They missed 3 games. But Nelson's gonna miss at least 3 games.
Yeah, it was. I saw they put them on IR. That was what I.
Yeah, they changed the rules. It used to be 8 games. They
That's
cut
what
it
I was
down to
thinking.
3. Yeah,
because I was thinking, I'm like, you put him on IR at this point in the season, like he's fucking done.
Yeah,
like,
I think it was they changed it last season because of COVID, so that guys can make roster moves.
Oh, okay.
Without worrying about it, because like you said, you sit them down this time. That's basically the rest of the season.
Yeah, because you're not. Yeah.
So
you're picking. You're going with Baltimore. Or you're going with the Colts. You want to have another upset alert?
I'm going to go with the Ravens. It wouldn't surprise me if the Colts can run the ball. If they can establish a running game, they can win this game. So it wouldn't surprise me if they won. Again, you know how I feel about Jonathan Taylor, the running back in the Colts. That dude is really one of the better backs in the league. But like I said, Baltimore, while the Colts are getting injured, Baltimore is actually starting to get healthy. They're getting guys back. Le'Veon is going to be more acclimated for it. Like dude, he can have a flashback. If he has a flashback, that's a problem.
Yeah, and their offense is looking like it's coming together really well.
Right. So and I have to go with Baltimore, and it's just the Lamar Jackson effect.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna make 3 or 4 highlight plays, and can you withstand it? I don't think the Colts can withstand it.
Yeah. Well, all right. Those are our Week 5 picks. Let's see. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5 or 6 picks that are different. So we'll be able to see this week who's more, as you say, more rider.
And I'm Mo.
We're gonna have some change into them stats.
Yeah, say like from the South, man. Mo.
We're gonna see somebody. One of us is gonna I'm either gonna maintain my lead, or extend it, or Bobby might catch up. But I feel like the latter is highly unlikely. But before we go,
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm always Mo rider. So.
But before we go, let's go ahead and run through real quick these sit-em and stardoms, real quick breakdown. Get these people out of here. What are your three starters?
My starters, I'm going to say go ahead and put Najee Harris in there.
Okay.
They got a different kind of matchup, but I think he'll have a solid game, catching the ball and running the ball. Go ahead and start Dak Prescott if you got him. Playing the Giants. Enough said. Go ahead and start Stephon Diggs. And say I think this game is going to be reminiscent of the Rams-Chiefs game from a few years ago, which was a huge offensive game.
Mm-hmm. So
Stephon, look for him to get loose for about 8 to 10 catches, $140, $150, couple of tubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And as far as keep him down, Derek Carr. Derek Carr, yeah. David's already sitting, so sit Derek
sitting for a long fucking time.
Go ahead and sit Derek Carr. I do not see good things. Even though I think the Raiders are going to win, I don't think it's going to be because of him. I think it'll be more of the ground game being established. Austin Eckler. I'm just messing up names today. Browns, number 1 rush defense in the NFL. Yeah, go ahead and sit that dude down. For the Chargers to win this game, it's going to be on the arm of Herbert. Sit him any wide receiver that you have on the roster that plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be that might be the only thing we do right on Sunday.
Yeah. I think you guys will handle the pass, but I think Najee Harris is going to be the problem for you guys.
Yeah, especially without Chubb.
Right.
All right, so quick through on mine. I'd start Sam Darnold. For a lot of people, and I noticed, I haven't looked it up earlier, he's available on waiver wires on like 80% of like ESPN fantasy football
I don't know why
boards.
he's been getting it. He's throwing and got rushing.
Yeah,
he's leading the league in rushing
and
touchdowns. Quarterbacks. It's crazy.
So no, period. He's leading
Period?
the league. Period. Period. He has more rushing touchdowns than Derrick Henry and Ezekiel Elliott. Like, yeah, fucking period.
Sam Darnold.
He has 5 through 4 games. So you can pick him up. I mean, he's available. I doubt anybody drafted him, so pick up Sam Darnold, start him this week. Again, they're going up. Carolina's playing Philadelphia. I don't, as much as I'm picking Philly to win the game, I think it'll be 38-31. I think it'll be a shootout. So I think I think Sam Darnold's going to put up a lot of points.
Right.
I'm also going with, from the Raiders game, I'm going with, instead of Derek Carr, I know you have him as sitting, which is our lists actually play off each other funnily in this way. It's not a word either, but fuck you. You want to sit Derek Carr, and I'm saying start Darren Waller, the tight end.
Okay.
Again, when I'm looking at that matchup, when I'm looking at what Chicago does well and what they don't do well, one of the things they do not do well is cover tight ends.
That is,
And what Derek Carr loves more than anything else is Darren Waller. So look for Derek Carr to be looking Waller's way early and often.
two things could be true.
What?
I'm just saying, two things can be true.
Oh, yeah, to sit Derek
You can
Carr.
have a crappy game and Waller can have a good game.
Yeah. You're going to be having to throw to him a lot.
Yeah.
And my final starter, I would start James Conner.
That's interesting.
I know that he's second on the depth chart, but Chase Edmonds is likely not to play. He's questionable right now with an injury that will likely probably keep him out for another game. I like James Conner in that matchup. I think that he's going to be able to get a lot of opportunities he hasn't been able to get before. So I would start James Conner. I think he'll have a solid game coming out of the backfield.
Not a believer in that 49er D-line?
No.
Fair.
Obviously, I already said to sit Calvin Ridley because he's not traveling. He's not going to play. So if you have Calvin Ridley, which a lot of people do, sit him. He's not in the fucking game. Counter to you talked, one of your starts was one of my sits. I'd sit Stephon Diggs for the exact opposite reason of you. I do not think it'll be a good game for him. I think him and Tyreek Hill are both going to be the targets of the respective defenses to absolutely shut down. They'll let Travis Kelce eat, and they'll let I'm forgetting the other dude's name on the other side.
Beasley.
They'll let Cole Beasley eat.
Manuel Sanders.
You do not want this game. Neither one of these teams want this game to come down to a Stephon Diggs or fucking Tyreek Hill show. So I think that Stephon Diggs is going to get shut down. He'll still get targeted. He'll still get probably 5 or 6 catches, but it's not going to be for a lot of yards, and it's not going to be for any touchdowns. And my final one, I would sit, no offense, the Cleveland defense. I don't like the matchup this week. Again, I still think that you guys win the game, but I also feel like Justin Herbert and that offense might eat. Yeah, they're going to shut down Austin Eckler. I couldn't agree with you more on that. But Justin Herbert is not Justin Fields, and that boy is going to love the opportunity to fucking throw the ball around the field. Whether or not that's good, we'll see. But I would sit the Cleveland defense because, yeah, they're going to stop the run.
Yeah,
but
we got some
Justin Herbert's going to put up a lot of yardage.
We got some very, very greedy DBs.
I know you got Greedy Williams. So I mean, I'm hoping that y'all can.
We also have the highest rated rookie in the NFL.
Who?
JOK, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker.
Yeah. So I'm proud of you for pronouncing that because I fucking can't. So we're gonna leave.
Just call him Joe.
We're gonna leave there. That's a high point. I don't know how he got that shit out on the first try. So let's just go. This has been episode number 13 of the Next Man Up Sports Podcast. I'm kind of dumbfounded by that fucking answer just now. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. Again, if you guys like what you're hearing, if you're enjoying this content, please like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way you can be alerted when new episodes drop, which are every Tuesday and every Friday. Again, as we said before, as the season's more sports are kicking up, we're going to be covering a lot more topics. We're trying to make sure we get everything for you guys, man. Make sure we have as much content for you. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Shaka. This is my man, Bobby G. And let's go ahead and get him out of here, man.
Peace.